Hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel. I just did a video covering installing the Xfce desktop environment on top of the Cinnamon desktop, or actually on top of Linux Mint Debian Edition. And I did that in a virtual box, and I do have that still there, still available and set up. But I have this laptop test machine, and I thought, why am I waiting in a virtual box? So I went ahead and installed that on the ASUS laptop, and I recorded all of that, and I've been playing in it now for I don't know, 3 or 4 days, I guess, and I've got it pretty much set up the way I want it, and I've recorded some of that, and we'll go through that. So right now, this computer that I'm using at this point is the Optiplex 7010, and I haven't made the plunge, but I will more than likely, from what I've been seeing on the ASUS laptop. Here's the virtual box that I had set up to test with, and I thought, why? Let's go to the install. Okay, so this should be the install here. This is Linux Mint. This is the ASUS laptop. Bring up a terminal. Run neofetch, and you can see this is the X555LA. It's an ASUS X555LA. And it's running the Cinnamon desktop at this point. Now, the video resolution right here is great. Now, I'm not sure what happens and why. I didn't notice it until I started editing the video. But eventually, the resolution is going to go back to the laptop resolution and it'll make a smaller screen. So before I run Tasksel, let's look at some of the way I've got it set up. I got the 2 games. I got Krita. I got Firefox. I think that was already there. Office, full suite of Office. Here I added quite a bit of stuff. You can see there my typical normal stuff that I've installed just on just every installation I have. And we'll go over more of the menu in a minute here. I'm just showing you basically. I don't know, I hit that button accidentally. So let's go ahead and run. Get a little bigger. Let's run sudo tasksel. Give it my password. Now, before I said that you got pointed out this laptop option, and this is a laptop, so I'm going to do that first. And I'm not sure if you can do both at once or not. I didn't try. I just went ahead and installed the laptop, and you can see that was rather quick. And I'll make sure that those get in the notes the software that you actually get with that package or task. So now we're going to install Xfce. And this don't take too long either. Pretty quick, really. And I gotta admit, I'm pretty pleased with it so far. I've had no problems, no surprises on the laptop at this point. Task Xfce desktop. Running the Cinnamon desktop. So when this is complete, I'm going to reboot and log in to the Xfce desktop. And I didn't record that, but I did show it in the same process in the virtual box on the last Tasksel video. So let's restart. And when I come back, I'll be on the Xfce desktop. And it's a little wanky. I'm not sure what happened to the video resolution. You can see the taskbar is sitting down there in the middle of the screen. So let's run neofetch, and you can see this is the X555LA, and we're running Xfce for desktop. A lot of customization has to take place at this point. There's my 2 games that I installed. Appears to be all of my programs are installed. There's Krita, plus a few that came in with Xfce. Yep, looks like a full list. I didn't see anything or notice anything that was missing. H-top, that's Krita, 786 megs. Not bad. Let's do something about this layout here. Get that dock alpha floating. Okay, so let's cat the Etsy OS release first, and we'll pipe that in a low cat, see if that still works, and it does. Linux Mint Debian, Elsie, 5. Now let's do something about that panel. Get rid of that one altogether. Go back to panel 1, unlock it. Let's pull it down to the bottom. Lock it again. Items. Add the whisker menu. And a network plugin, or a monitor, network monitor. I like using that. Let's get rid of the whisker or the applications menu. Move the whisker menu over where it needs to be. Grab the network monitor and move that up next to the Wi-Fi or network, depending on what you're using. All right. That's good for now. Customize it a little bit, the menu itself. Show category names, take all that superfluous stuff out. Show icon and title. Linux Mint Debian Edition, Xfce 4. So, backpack list. I had a list there of Fedora Media, Writer, Kdenlive. So that's working. System's up to date. I hadn't figured out what this applet to the panel is yet. So far, I haven't needed it, so I'm going to tell it probably to ignore that and eventually look for something called Xapp there. It wasn't available. Refresh that. Make sure there's no updates since we did change desktops. Checking for flat packs. Let's take that brightness out of there a little bit. Much better already. Icons, leave that there for now. Enable event sounds. System's up to date. Let's log out of this or close out of the screen capture, and let's go back to the regular actual laptop. Simple screen recorder. H-top. Fresh boot. Got simple screen recorder, and I'm running 827 megabytes of RAM. NeoFetch on the ASUS laptop. Xfce desktop. OS release, if that says anything different. Did not. Elsie. Linux Mint Debian Edition. All right. Firewall. Firewall is not enabled by default, or at least on this desktop it wasn't. So I'm going to go ahead and enable that. All right, so if you want to use SSH, you're going to have to install OpenSSH-server, and I did, and I'm going to run this command, and it says it's enabled. So you can start it, stop it, enable it, disable it. So there's my full list of software. Maybe I didn't click on that. Uh-oh, there it is. This is Mint Install Software Manager. Okay, let's close out of that. this is package manager, so you get the software to store, and you get Synaptic as package manager 090.2. So that's two ways of installing packages. Here you can use apt to install, search, update, upgrade. So three ways of getting packages and things you need. Timeshift is installed by default, and I went ahead and set that up. I have a backup. Timeshift 2111.2. And a little weirdness here. It took me a second to realize what had happened. Xfce brings in their own screen shooter, plus it already had the one from the Cinnamon desktop. So that's the GNOME one, and that was the Xfce screen shooter, I believe it's called. On the resources here, about 25% of the processors, 1.1 gigs. And I've already used 30.6 gigabytes, and it's increasing because I'm recording. So about half of the hard drive space is left, but I've got everything that I can think of that I need. So there shouldn't be many more to add to that, updates maybe. So I got flat seal, super text card, color picker, Fedora Media Writer, Tux Puck, and Kdenlive for flat packs. That's what I'm saying. I got it pretty much set up. My problem, all my software installed, ready to play games and such. GNOME Disk came in by default. Got OBS Studio, Kdenlive, Audacity, Krita, Simple Screen Recorder, Foco Screen, System Monitor came in by default. We installed VirtualBox. It works just like it should. This is the newest one. I believe it's 7.0.6 Debian, revision 122, I think it said. Might be wrong. So yeah, I mean, it's working on this laptop. Bulky file renamer or bulk renamer. I added a couple of extra games there. I can't wait to play Super Text Card on it. All my graphics installed. And a whole list of multimedia stuff, which all of it works. Some of it was installed by default. Hypnotics and Xfce, that was installed by default. For some reason, I want to say I had to install Pro Media Player. You got the full suite of LibreOffice. Got a backup tool that comes by default. And there is no find a version number or anything on here. So let's find out if it's got something to hide. This is called Mint Backup or Backup Tool. Icon name string icon backup tool. That's all it's called. Disk usage analyzer. That's pretty nice. This will show you where all your files are. If you look in your, all of a sudden your disk seems to be more fuller than you think it ought to be, this will tell you where the files are, what size they are, how much room is taken up on your disk. For instance, in bar, it's taking up 5.4 gigs. The libraries or share is 3.7. I can't keep up objects. That'll tell you where they're at, so you can kind of weed through them a little bit if you want to, if you elect to, or if you need to. All right. Even got mugshot. I thought that was pretty neat. Let's see what Glances says just before we close out here. 1.23 gigs. Not bad. Don't forget, Cinnamon's still running it underneath this. or still a part of this. Okay, so I'm going to save that. We'll go back to the desktop here, or go back to the me. What, I don't know. Go back to the me. That's going to conclude this video. I've installed it on that laptop. I'm pleased as I can be. Look for it to be installed on this Optiplex 7010, a much better machine than the laptop is, as my permanent driver. Because if I don't have any problems on a laptop, I'm more than likely not going to have any problems on a tower. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. Be kind to yourself and be kind to everybody else. Peace out. Bye.